You're too excited, man. So you've been having pretty interesting sermons lately, and the theme again is what exactly? So you let people know.
Well, I don't know. I guess the theme is technically over, but we were talking about the body matters, and so it's basically like every trigger topic you can imagine.
So anything to trigger any new line liberal would be your pretty much your whole. That's what you're going for.
Euthanasia, abortion. We talked about transgender issues, and then what was the first one? I
think when it comes to terms of service, Twitch and YouTube isn't okay with transgenders issues.
Okay.
So we'll definitely keep that out of Twitch for now until we could get everything on YouTube.
Okay.
Until I can figure everything out. I think YouTube's a little bit more open about it. I don't think they're like straight like okay with it, but at the same time, I don't think they're just like, oh my gosh, like. But I know people have been banned on Twitch for saying, quote, I'm quoting them, what they said. I'm not saying this. I'm not agreeing with this. I'm not saying, I'm just quoting what they said. What they said is something in the lines of, like, there's only two genders.
Yeah.
And that caused a ban. Yeah. So that, don't take it out of context. That's what it is.
Probably more so on Twitch than YouTube, right? Yeah.
Twitch has a very big LGBTQT community, and the world first, the little speedrunners that I told you about.
Yeah.
They're very big on those trans rights.
Yeah.
So we'll
inclusivity.
Yeah. Wait, is my mic even on? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's on. There you go. You see it lighting up right there?
Yeah.
So they can hear us perfectly fine. I don't know how loud exactly.
Yeah, it works.
But the chat is here, and if anybody asks anything, we will see it here live. So, did you share those links?
What?
Did you share the link I sent you?
With who?
With your Facebook.
Oh no!
You gotta share that. That's what I'm sitting here like. Why do we got one viewer, man?
I don't have Facebook on my phone.
You don't have Facebook on your phone?
I have only a Messenger.
All right, you can how about you log in on here? Could you log in?
I don't know my password.
Could you send it to Amber?
I know it on my. I know it on here.
Okay, well then go ahead.
Let's do this real quick.
Because then we're gonna get into the main topic at hand after we get a little bit of people on here from our church group and stuff, and hey, all my friends are online too. I'm sure one of them is.
What's your Wi-Fi?
It's Scott's Tots.
That's awesome.
It's my phone number, my cell phone number.
I love Scott's Tots.
Isn't that great?
Dude, that's the most cringy episode of television.
Oh my gosh,
ever.
Scott's Tots is the greatest example of why The Office is so great, and it is so amazing, and that's why everybody should try to force themselves to watch it. My roommate doesn't watch it. He doesn't like it. He doesn't care for it.
3172?
Yeah, but be careful not to say it long.
Yeah. Should I say your address while I'm at
it? Yeah, while you're at it too, right? I'm sure everybody's going to have a kick out of that. Because this is recording.
Oh, okay.
So I'll upload it to YouTube after. Okay. So once you get in, share the link, and then we can get on topic at hand. I'll put it in our group me chat. Yeah, I can do that. Send it to you right here. Copy.
Copy. It is posted.
There will be a re-upload YouTube. Let's see if we can even hear ourselves. Because that's happened to me before, by the way. I wasn't, like, the microphone wasn't working. Let's see. There you go. It works. Ooh, there you go. We don't want that. All right. Okay. All right. Got it?
Yep.
Can't believe you brought a Mac computer to my house.
You told me to bring my computers.
Yeah, but I was thinking about doing it else. Like, if we had to do it somewhere else.
My computers.
Like, if we had to do it somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, now I had the verification for the stupid YouTube app. There you go. See, yeah. Now we could have done it, but it's all right. We'll just figure it out as we go. Because we want to get into a lot of topics on hand, and I think we have some pretty good insight on some stuff. And I have some things, and I want to just literally, because I'm not saying you're sheltered, but it's just like you kind of, like a lot of things go over our heads, and that's fair enough. And I think internet culture completely, once you had your kids and stuff, completely just went.
Oh, well, I pretty much checked out probably right after I started having kids.
Really?
Yeah. So that was like 2012. So after 2012, it's only been only fringe stuff and the most popular stuff that it's really got.
So, like, you're pretty much, would you consider yourself a textbook normie? Like as textbook normies get.
What does that mean?
I mean, I can look up an exact definition, but it's kind of like you're into more mainstream stuff, and if it's mainstream, you probably know about it. But if you dig deeper, you want to consider yourself?
I'm very. I mean, I feel like even in my very answer, I probably have revealed that I'm normie, but but I mean, I don't even like a lot of mainstream stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No?
I'm very critical about everything.
But like internet culture itself, you're completely unabided.
Well, I think a lot of the memes I've seen are hilarious.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we're just going to scratch the surface.
Okay.
We're going to peel back a couple layers. So we're going to dive deep. So, like I told you, I ran into some interesting things on the internet. I've told you about Twitch women and stuff and body painting and all that stuff, which there is a topic I want to bring up about a female Twitch streamer that actually got banned recently for body painting.
Oh my goodness.
But it was in the TOS, the terms of service, which TOS is terms of service.
Yeah.
So abbreviated. So, anyways, I stumbled across this movie and I couldn't help myself. I didn't know if I was going to feel bad about watching it as a Christian, but I was like, maybe I should just see what it was. And it's called Hail Satan.
Oh.
It's called Hail Satan.
I'm intrigued.
I'm going to show you a trailer.
Okay.
Just so you can get a consensus of the idea of what I watched.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and give you a rough, like, visually pictures. And give you I kind of wrote down a couple quotes that some of these guys talked about.
Yeah.
And there's so much to get into. And gosh, it is so, it honestly, I wouldn't watch this with your kids.
Yeah.
This is something you wouldn't watch with your kids. It is rated R, I believe. It touches on a lot of sexual nature and stuff like that. And swear words, of course.
This is a documentary, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about the it's about this thing that the Satanistic Church, I think they're called TSM. I want to say TSM. I'm not sure. Can't remember. But their goal was to take down a Ten Commandments statue in front of a government building. I think in Arizona. But that's roughly what the movie is based around. That's their fight. That's what they're trying to do. And in place, they're trying to say, okay, you either take it down or you allow other religious monuments to stand as well with it.
Okay.
So they chose a Baphomet. I think I'm butchering it, but Baphomet
yeah.
statue with two little children, like
I read about this about the news.
Yeah. So man, it literally peels the whole layers, and it's a really good deep dive of what these people are about.
Yeah.
And I think Rick said it perfectly, and it was like counterculture. And then, was
this last night in our group?
Yeah, that's why I told you to leave, because I wanted to talk to Rick about this a little bit, because he said he has a Satanistic friend, which I wish he was here, because he has a friend that's a Satanist.
Yeah.
So I saw it. I saw Santa. Oh man. I'll send trailer. All right. Okay. This is a trailer. I don't know. I'm just gonna let the sound play. On here. So you put these on.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me what you see.
All right.
And I want your live reaction, what you see, and tell me if you can hear anything. They can hear it too.
Yeah, I can hear it. Okay, so there's Maleficent right there.
I'm not going to show it because it's there's crude images.
Okay. Oh, wow.
That's a Satanist. Could you believe that? That dude?
He's a Satanist?
Oh, yeah.
He looks just like a preacher.
I know. There's a statue.
Okay, there's Baphomet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Saint Michael defeats Satan.
This guy, that guy with the blind eye.
Yeah.
Oh man, this guy. I'm gonna pull up a picture of him because this guy. Oh man. Wait till you hear this.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. Look, that's the map of all their churches.
That is crazy.
What do you think, man?
I don't know what I think. Wow. I'm the kind of guy that like I don't know what to say until I've seen a little bit more, but I'm definitely intrigued for sure.
Yeah. So roughly,
what did I just watch?
Roughly.
Can I take these off?
Yeah, you can take them off. Roughly. This is the topic. This is what I wanted to bring to your attention.
Okay.
Not for the sake of like, oh, look at this. Look at what these people are doing. I just want to go against the grain a little bit.
Yeah.
And just say, I think me theory crafting on the idea, a lot of these people have been rejected from the church.
Okay.
And that's a lot. You'll see when you watch the documentary, you'll see a lot of recurring themes of like repeatedly like, oh, you know, the churches, they're evil, they're mean to me, they treated me a lot of these kids have been a lot of bullied, right?
Yeah.
They've been bullied, they've been mistreated by the church. And this is the result of what Christians have done.
Yeah.
And honestly, I personally think those people exist because of radical Christian views.
Hmm.
And if anybody is to blame for what they did, honestly, I've said I'm actually, by watching this, I as a Christian, I'm like, good for them.
Huh.
Because you know why, Tyler? And I'm gonna explain it to you. Honestly, this is the result of what you get when you push people away for them to have, like, let's say, for example, they like the black lipstick. Let them like the black lipstick. There's nothing evil about black. Is there a verse in the Bible about lipstick being black?
Not to my knowledge, nope.
Of evil. I mean, like, it just they completely have created this religion. I think Christianity is the result of this in a way that I don't think I have explained it to you better, but
yeah.
I think you will
No,
learn to
I know
understand.
I feel what you're saying.
So, watching this, man, I was just so conflicted because I was just like, oh my gosh, like I felt bad for them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do a good. I'm not saying it's like, oh, it makes them look good because their ideals are just stupid and childish.
Yeah.
Because it's rebellious nature, and they go against what they even preach.
Yeah.
So that's the whole funny part about it, because they go back and forth and they say, oh, there's no religion. I was an atheist and I don't believe in God. But now you believe in a hell and a Satan?
Yeah.
Where did that happen? No, because you found out that there was a way to get back at Christians that made them very upset.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if Christians would not have said anything and let these people do as they please and not have made a big deal, this would have gone away so fast.
Yeah.
But
it's a battlefield, right?
Exactly.
I think I couldn't say that much because I've not seen the documentary, so I'd have to see it first. But just based on what you're saying to me so far, what's actually happening has biblical precedent, right? So I can only speak from like what I know from the Bible. And there's actually an interesting passage in Romans chapter 2 where Paul is quoting one of the Hebrew prophets, and he says, look, the name of God is blasphemed all day among the non-believers because of your hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Right? And so whenever you say that this church of Satan is started because of what you think are like false Christians, right? Or at least Christianity in a sense.
I'm not saying false Christians. I'm just saying the ones that are going out of their way to cause the trouble.
Yeah.
Like those people, like those protesters that you saw.
Yeah.
And we can show little snippets of it. I don't think that would be an issue. But you could see, what's a good example? So you see, look. So you have these Christians here, right?
Yeah.
And they're obviously upset and they're protesting the Satanistic they're counter protesting the Church of Satan. Right?
Yeah.
So I think if you just allow them to do as they please, and they'll be like, oh well, I guess Christians aren't as crazy, and you kind of I'm just saying, like, lead by example.
Yeah.
If you want to sit there and I think the problem with me debates in it is that, am I a Christian first or an American first?
Yeah.
Because you got, separation from church and state, right? And that's heavily debated in it.
Yeah.
And every time they take it to every Congress meeting or whatever, the Congress look at it and they're like, well, we're Americans first here in the court of law, so I'm sorry, they got to put the statue up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, a senator gets involved, and then it gets even more messy. But what do you think about the idea that I brought to you about these?
Well, I can't say much about the whole idea of like politics and where that intersects, right? Because there is a sense, I feel like, if you go strictly to biblical New Testament Christianity, we have this sense where Jesus comes on the scene. He says, look, render to Caesar what is Caesar's, and render to God what is God's, right? And so there is a little bit of that separation in a sense. But like whenever I think about the problem of what I'd mentioned in Romans chapter 2, there is this idea that if the people who claim to be following God are doing so in a hypocritical way, you're going to push people away from God. That's what he says, right?
Exactly.
That's what he says. So yeah, I see that. But my thing is that I have to question the premise. First of all, I have to ask the question, who is actually a Satanist, right? Because if it's someone who's just rebellious in nature and they're trying to get away from Christianity, they might be a Satanist just because that's what's going to get at them, right? But they might not really believe in any spiritual entity called Satan, right?
And now,
yeah,
I want you to watch it, and the next time we meet, I want you to tell me.
Okay.
And go ahead.
But I have another thing to say too. Another thing is that I also have to question the premise of who is a Christ follower. Because you see, these people, they are rejecting what they think is Christianity, right? But what I see here about the Christians that are being projected here at these protests, I don't necessarily take it for granted those are Christians. Because my definition of what a Christian is, according to the New Testament, is, what does Christian mean? It's someone who's like Christ, right?
Yeah.
Someone who follows Jesus.
Yeah.
Is it any...
It's in the name.
Yeah, exactly. So it's someone who follows Jesus. It's a Jesus follower. There's a lot of people who profess to be Christians who don't really follow Jesus, right?
Well,
right? Am I wrong?
I think honestly, my uncle says it the best. He says, he said, the day of the rapture, you'll see who was really a Christian and who wasn't.
In a sense, that's true. Yeah. So what they might be protesting, like so many people who are not advocates of Christianity at all. In fact, they're antagonistic to Christianity. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, tell me what you think a Christian is, because I might not agree with that picture either. Exactly. I might not like that either. Mm-hmm. And actually, it's funny because if you look at the Bible stories like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the life of Jesus, it's precisely the outsiders who are attracted to Jesus. And it's precisely the religious people who are so pushed away by him. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
I'm just saying, I mean, I couldn't agree with you anymore. I mean, honestly, I think these people wanted to believe, and I think in a tradition sense, kind of shoves away what a tradition. I spoke to.
But see, that's the problem. Is you just said it. The key word, tradition. Yeah. Right.
So I talked to one of my a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I won't mention her name, but she was explaining to me that she was playing sports in the playground or something in a church, and she said on the lines of frick or something like that. Yeah. I don't remember, like crap or something.
Some euphemism.
And, yeah, some I guess a silly dally word.
Yeah.
And she was pretty much put in a room and talked to, like, and it's like deliberately just making her feel awful for something that isn't even considered biblically that serious.
Yeah.
So I mean, that being said, to move on, because we can go all day.
Yeah, we could.
About Christianity and Christians and true Christians, and, but there's somebody I want to bring up specifically. This guy here, this guy here is pretty much the leader. I would assume he is.
What's his name? Do you know his name? What's this dude's name?
Oh shoot. I can look that up. Give me a second. Let me look that up over here. It's not like.
Is he like a Satanist priest or something?
Yes. The church, the Satan. Church. They even excommunicado one of their members too.
They practice excommunication?
Yeah. It was that bad. Yeah. See, so
the Satanic Temple.
I think this is him.
Lucian Greaves.
Okay. Lucian Greaves, right? This is who I'm bringing up right here, right? Because they point this out.
But see, like even that name is so crazy that it looks like it's made up. But look, his real name is Douglas Mesner.
Oh my gosh! And you ready for it? I'm about to drop the truth, bro. Okay. I know it's spoiler a little bit for once I watch the documentary. That's not even his real name.
Not even Douglas?
No.
Oh, what's his name?
Dude, I'm just telling you, this guy. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It just. The Satanic Temple. That's the ST, the TAST, I think it's short for. I don't remember. But this gentleman, like, they even pointed out in the documentary and like straight sneak diss him, and he even says it himself. They like, oh, so your real name is Douglas, and he's like, no, that's not even my real name. I know other names, yeah.
Douglas Masico.
Dude, who knows, man? Yeah. I mean, why do you have to be so hidden? I mean, a lot of these people in the documentary fear of religious repercussion from the workplace. I would assume.
Yeah, there can be some religious fanatics who might snipe at this guy,
Well, and other members, of course. But here's my point. As Christians, I think that is probably the worst thing we can do.
Oh, of course.
You'll even hear it from your favorite YouTubers. Oh, just don't attack them. Just leave them alone.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you should do. Everybody whoever watches, that's what you should do straight up.
Yeah.
Just leave these people alone.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. Allow them to follow which nonsense they want to follow.
Yeah.
As silly as it may be, because they got a funny story I'm going to tell you about Isaac and Job and stuff, and because they believe that when Satan was involved, he was actually trying to help them.
Oh.
Instead of trying to get them to go against. Oh, my favorite one was. They believe that Satan wasn't tempting Jesus. They believe that he was actually trying to save Jesus from starvation.
Oh, yeah, I can see how they spin that story.
So they spin that whole story, and then they say, they didn't want to see Jesus die on the cross. So that's why the Satan was trying to help Jesus not to be on the cross.
Yeah, I can see how they spin it that way. Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. These people live solely based on here. This is their world. Yeah. Right? Because, as far as I'm concerned, hell sounds awful. And I don't care which way they spin it. It doesn't sound fun. But there is some rituals. Yeah. That we're going to get into.
In the satanic temple?
Oh, man, are they doozies.
All right, so starting with what? Number one, what do they do?
So, the Last Supper, anoint me with wine, we take the little shoppy cup. No, they drown them in wine.
Okay.
And women overly sexualized and stuff. And a lot of, I guess, women sexually objectified, so they sexually objectify men instead.
Okay.
So they pour hot wax on naked dudes.
Oh my goodness.
And they feel that the Bible has shunned against nudity. Yeah. So they pretty much are naked a lot of the time. That's why it's a very hard R rating. So when you see the rituals that they go through and all the stuff, they don't kill anybody, and it's against the church and stuff. Yeah. But there is one of them that is completely radicalized, and she called for the death of Donald Trump and everything.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the one they kicked her out because they're like, because here's the funny thing. Any Christian you ask, not part of that can literally identify themselves as a Westboro Baptist church, I guarantee you ask anybody in our church, if they condone that behavior, they're going to tell you flat out no.
Well, yeah.
They're doing the same thing. Why would you want you? Because they want to protect their image. Yeah. And that's what they're not stupid. Yeah. They're very smart what they're trying to do. Uh-huh. And I think, honestly, like, L. Ron Hubbard, you know who L. Ron Hubbard is?
Yeah, Scientology.
Yeah. The best thing he said was, that's not the best, but he said, if you wanted to make $1 million, build a religion. Mm-hmm. And it's honestly as what it's starting to look like with this. Really? Yeah, because they sell trinkets, they sell stuff like that, and they have open donations. So their church is in Salem. Where's it? Massachusetts. Look, and he has a Harvard University education too. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Smart dude. So Satanic Temple, and that was the woman, by the way, too. The founders. Salem, Massachusetts. So where the witch trial place is at where they had him. Yeah. That's where it is.
It seems like their whole religion. You're right. Whenever your original premise, you said that they would not exist if it was not for Christianity. I think you're right, because what they've essentially done is they've taken everything that has been classically considered Christian, and they have just turned it on its head, which is textbook blasphemy, right? where they take what is God. So they take like a holy meal. Seriously, they take like a holy meal, like the Lord's Supper, and they completely turn it into like, the mirror image, right? Mm-hmm. And so, man, they're even IRS 501c3.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. They don't play, dude. The guys from Harvard. These aren't jokers. Yeah. All right, so I'm not gonna put it up here for your sake, because I don't know what's on here. I haven't seen this.
Yeah, let's not do that.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you, and I want to give a live reaction what you see. Okay. So are you ready for this? Yes. I don't know if there's nudity. I'm not saying there is. Yeah. Amber, if you're watching, don't kill me. Because this is not what we're just doing this for solely research purposes, and this is pretty entertaining to me personally, because we're pretty much opening up the veil of what a counter culture is. I guess we would say it's literally going against which I wouldn't say is part of your theme, But
It just looks like a typical mega church setup, except you have a whole bunch of Baphomet signs everywhere.
The first thing you see is what on the page. You see the icon, right?
Yeah,
The image,
the
and then the second thing you see right there, shop.
Yeah, yeah. It's they borrowed the mega church model. Looks like.
So, how about you give that a readout for our viewers?
All right, so this is interesting. There are 7 fundamental tenets, right? I guess like there's 7 commandments or something. Number one should strive to act with compassion and empathy towards all creatures in accordance with reason. Okay. They kind of freeloaded that one, but anyway. Second one, the struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. Okay. Number 3, one's body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone. Number 4, the freedom of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend. Number 5, to willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another is to forego one's own. Okay. Number 6, belief should conform to our best scientific understanding of the world. We should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit our beliefs. Okay. People are fallible. If we make a mistake, we should do our best to rectify it and remediate any harm that may have been caused. Okay, but why? Lastly, every tenet is a guiding principle designed to inspire nobility in action and thought. And the spirit of compassion, wisdom, and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word. Hold on 1 second, just wait.
No, I was pulling it up so people could see it because we're not making this up.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, there's 7.
7, 8, 9. There's 9.
Mm-hmm.
So why does it say there are 7? Is that like a trick? Are they doing it on purpose?
I think so. Like so this is supposed to. I don't know. I have no idea.
That would be really.
This
clever.
is supposed to be their 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
So
but it's 9.
Well, I don't know if that's every tenet is guided principle, design, and inspire nobility in action. So this is technically their 10 Commandments, and I put it up here. I didn't. So we're pulling this directly from their website. This is their website. The churches, the Satan's temple, whatever. So what is your opinion? I just wanted you, because this is one of the points I wanted to bring up.
Okay, so my first question is, are there atheists who are a part of this church?
Well, they proclaim to used to be atheists.
Okay.
So, see, the one that gets me is the science one, right?
Yeah.
So pretty much it's like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like we're not going to use science to further our beliefs, but I don't understand. There you go. No. I mean, it's so boggling. It's just nuts.
I just think it's interesting because like they're all things that in a sense, is embodied in the Christian faith in a lot of ways, right? Acting with compassion, empathy towards all creatures.
But they don't feel that way. They don't feel that. Yeah, I guarantee you. I'm pretty sure a good portion of it was never really put into hard work that a lot of us in the church have put it into the Bible, because it's almost like, yeah.
I mean, they've taken Christian tenets and they've just redressed it in something completely different.
Exactly.
But it's like my thing is that like if Christ is the basis of my morality, this person who lived a kind, loving life, who even gave his life to save people, what's the basis for them living that way? What's the basis for them? One should strive to act compassion, empathy towards all creatures in accordance with reason. Why? Why should we do that?
I just don't understand their point that they keep trying to make. Like, I don't know how they vilify that Satan is a good thing. Yeah,
because he's not.
He is. So if you take the word evil, like, which is that how is the Bible define Satan as?
Well, just look at the very word Satan. You know what the word Satan means? In the original language, it just means the adversary. So his name means he's an opponent that stands against you. That's what his name means. The Bible says he's been lying from the beginning. He's a murderer from the beginning.
Yeah.
Everyone under his influence has only wrought destruction and division and unkindness.
That's pretty good, huh?
And deception and lies. So I don't know how they.
I just don't know, like, really how to. Oh shoot, that's not it. Okay, I just don't understand how they got this. Because honestly, so this guy, I can't remember. I gotta pull it out for you somewhere. There's a book that he talks about, like a guy in the documentary. He's in it, and if you watch it, you can get it from him. But he writes about it, and he describes it perfectly. They are the original trolls.
Okay.
So let's keep diving in here, and if we can find, if it's safe to show it, we'll show it. But we're just gonna tread lightly. Okay. So let's go back to full cam. Let's see here. Okay. So the documentary is in plain sight. Let's just scroll and see if we can. If we don't find anything TOS, then we can definitely show it. Okay, so we're gonna switch back. So, of course, you can own it on DVD.
Yeah.
You know what? I think they thought that this was going to be a not a, I guess, like kind of like an advertisement for their cause, but.
Here's another thing is that I'm questioning the whole premise of even their Satanism, because if we're going strictly biblical, right? Like a Satanist church would have to be something that is at least some way related to the Bible, because that's where we get the concept of Satan, correct?
Yeah.
Why do they have a picture of Baphomet? Baphomet is an occult symbol. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that the devil is a winged half-man goat creature. It never says that. As a matter of fact, what is Satan usually depicted as? Sometimes a serpent, and a lot of times a dragon, right? Why do they have a goat demon as their icon?
So, where did the goat originate? So, where does the idea of Satan and goats come from originally?
Well, we're talking about Hebrew religion, and so at least whenever you I don't know the origin of Baphomet. I mean, I guess you could Wikipedia that, but there are various goat demons. Depicted in the Old Testament. Maybe that's where it came from.
There's your lovely gift shop. You want to see our church gift shop? No, we don't have one. If people didn't know. So
the devil's work is never done.
Is that what it says? Is that what
That's the subtitle to the movie.
Oh, no way. Wild. Oh, yeah, in the Battle for Justice and Equality.
No, it's at the very bottom. Look. Go down.
The devil's work is never done, dude. Jeez Louise. My goodness, man. I'm telling you, dude, this is nuts. Like, it's like, see, learn. Okay, so we can definitely dive a little deeper.
Yeah.
Okay, this is their mission statement. And
doesn't it strike you as being something more?
Okay, here's the 7. Here's the 7 tenets.
Yeah. Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So there is 7. I don't know where those other 2.
Yeah.
Well,
it's more political than anything else.
Purchase a membership. It definitely is. Do you worship Satan? Here you go. Okay. It is the position of the satanic temple that religion can and should be divorced from
superstition.
Superstition?
And as such, we do not promote a belief in a personal Satan. What?
See, I told you!
They reject their very premise.
I told you! Isn't this crazy?
They reject their very premise.
I told you. When I started, it was like backpedaling, right? Like
I mean, Baphomet is a superstitious symbol. It's a part of the occult. That is superstition personified, a statue of Baphomet. And yet they're trying to say we want to get away from superstition. I mean, it's not even really a religion, it doesn't seem like. How is this any different from scientism? Look, to embrace the name Satan is to embrace rational inquiry, remove from supernaturalism and archaic tradition-based superstitions, and yet your entire religion is called the Satanic Temple. It commits suicide. It's self-contradictory. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna for the sake of this, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. All right, Brooke would be very proud of me for that. Wouldn't some of the Bible have a lot of contradictory points to it as well? A lot of contradiction as well that contradicts itself.
All right, so as a typical, I mean, someone could argue that certainly,
because I'm sure that's going to be their fighting point.
Well, sure, yeah, but also, I mean, I think if you were to ask Christians, most Christians, they would say, well, we read the Bible in a way that harmonizes and makes sense of all these passages. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
It's wild, isn't it? I mean, your friend has such a soothing voice.
Oh my goodness.
That's my dog, Matthew. But honestly, when we look more and you dive into it, okay, so do you promote evil? The Satanic Temple holds to the basic premise that undue suffering is bad. Undue suffering, is bad. And that which reduces suffering is good. We do not believe in symbolic evil. We embrace blasphemy as a legitimate expression of personal independence from counterproductive traditional norms.
Yes. Ergo, why they have this subversion of the Lord's Supper, the traditional Lord's Supper meal. Yeah, which is, textbook blasphemy, as I said earlier. They do not believe in symbolic evil.
This just blow your mind even more, man.
But see, again, they commit contradiction. They don't believe in evil. But yet, where do they get the basis that undue suffering is bad?
I don't know.
You either have this objective standard which tells you what is good, what is bad, and that suffering should be alleviated, or you don't, and literally everything goes. Yeah. Right? But without God, without having a God who determines that which is evil or what is good, you can't say what you should reduce. How do we know that suffering is supposed to be bad?
Like, this is how I kind of roughly see it, right?
Yeah.
If there was no Christianity, would there still be Buddhism?
I think a lot of people would say yeah.
Oh, well, I meant, I guess
mean
like I'm saying, like, one has to exist in order for the other one to exist.
Well, in this case,
certainly. So what I'm saying, like, if Christianity if there was no Christianity, there wouldn't be no Buddhism. I mean, Buddhism would still be here.
Yeah,
it would be still rampant. But without Christianity, there wouldn't be a Church of Satan.
No, it wouldn't. As a matter of fact, I feel like, and they even say this in the next point, what does Satan mean to the TST? Satan is symbolic of the eternal rebel in opposition to arbitrary authority. Mm-hmm. So for them, Satan is just a symbol of opposition, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. And so for them, most of the stuff that they have is just freeloading from the Bible and freeloading from Christianity, or what they think is Christianity, freeloading from Judeo-Christian values and just rebelling against it. I mean, in that sense, I guess they are true to Satan,
I mean, I guess I feel like they just took one thing out of it and just turned it into their own. Spokesman. So that guy is the spokesman.
Yeah.
Statement different from Levite. Oh, so there's a different type of Satanism.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's what I thought originally you were talking about. So Anton LaVey.
Oh, the bald-headed dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I thought that was related to that, but this is actually a little bit different than Anton LaVey's Church of Satan.
No kidding, is it?
Yeah, and he actually wrote a Satanist Bible.
So he did it for the basis of religion. Is that what you say? Like, is that roughly the idea of it? Like, he did it to make a religion?
Well, I mean, they do a good job explaining it there, the difference between the Satanist temple and LaVeyan Satanism.
So they reject his authority. What does that mean? This is college level words, man. Hold up.
So basically, the summary of what they're saying is that the TST is more of a modern approach to Satanism, whereas Anton LaVey's kind of dated now because a lot of the stuff that was written in his Bible reflects some erroneous scientific thought at the time.
I mean, where's my order? I'm offended. Please go elsewhere. We are offended by your beliefs, but we... Oh my gosh.
But we do not send you hateful email.
Well, there you go.
You know, honestly, I can actually get behind that.
This is probably the best thing. This is the only thing they've done. And
it's actually pretty good.
And if you guys at the Satanistic Church listen to this, if you find this somehow, I don't know if you do, that whoever wrote that, you need to give them a raise or something, because that's
actually pretty good. Yeah.
Honestly, we don't
if you're offended, go elsewhere. That's
right.
Yeah. That's right, go elsewhere.
Because honestly, which, by the way, I do have another topic for another time.
Yeah.
Because there is... Are you ready for this?
What?
This is just a little snippet. a little taste of the future, brother.
Okay.
There is a group of people that believe Christianity actually has to do with aliens.
What?
Well, let's continue on this, because there is somebody I want to bring up.
Yeah, I'm so sheltered.
And then, like...
I don't know about none of this. Okay.
All right, now we're going to look up the definition of normie now.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
All right, so let's see if we can find the founding members, because I think it was... What was it? The guy. I looked up the guy, Lucy Graves, right here, and then here she is. This one...
Jex Blackmore.
I think this is her. Yes, this is her. So this is the one they barred from the Satanistic Temple, because she was just so out there, and
she was a fanatic.
Yes, she was throwing threats to Donald Trump, and there's not even is there a wiki on her at all? No, there isn't.
No, that's odd.
Best though for public. Oh man, yeah, she does like radical protest of babies and stuff, and she does very performance art things. Yeah. And they're out of Southfield, Michigan, and they do threats and they do all those crazy things. But we're at the 50-minute mark now. I think that would be a perfect time to
wrap it up.
Yeah, but I think next time I'm gonna do some research on those Christian aliens.
Yeah. I'll probably watch the Hail Satan documentary too.
It's a good watch. Honestly, I was surprised, because I was just like, dude, I have so many notes on it.
Yeah.
I have so many notes on it that honestly I just could not live with myself. And I sat here for the longest time so we can figure out all the timestamps I wrote down.
Oh my goodness!
And I rewatched it again, and then I forgot to write the timestamp, because you could just watch the whole movie. Because honestly, if you watch this whole movie, Hail Satan, and you honestly can this just literally just, what did you call it? Commit suicide. It's almost like it goes against everything of what it is, man.
Is there one in Indiana? Look at it and see if there's one in Indiana.
A Satanistic church in Indiana? There's one in Chicago.
Illinois.
That's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Let's see.
No, there's not very many, dude.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's not a lot at all.
So a lot of these churches are very pro LGBTQT plus.
Of course.
So they're very trans. They favor in the trans thing, and see just the image of the goat again, But I don't understand how you go from telling your followers that you're not anywhere religious, but you are, but you're not, but you are, but you're not,
Yeah.
But you quote the Bible. You have these 10 tenets, the 7 tenets. You have. Church of Satan versus I think that's what we read, right? Oh, here it is. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's good.
Kids. Oh, yeah. And there was a big part about that, about after school programs allowing Satanistic kids in there. Mm-hmm. So I guess See, look, they recognize that they're also tax exempt. Okay? Well, there was a membership fee for the other one. I don't know why, but okay. As a physical headquarters, they did not has. Oh, they did. Dude, they did a lot of stuff.
Oh, that's good. So Anton LaVey's political views, just Ayn Rand's philosophy with ceremony and ritual added.
Oh my god. Socially and politically active. And that literally should be the whole sentence right there. Oh, okay, so you pay membership fees, but it's $25 membership card. Baphomet Monument, and they make that as a checkout. After school Satan clubs. Believes men who prefer blue cheese dressing must be homosexual inclined because the odor is reminiscent of a locker full of well-worn jock straps.
That's what Anton LaVey believed, I guess.
Did he?
That's what it says for the Church of Satan.
That is so... Well, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, this right here, I just can't wait to see what we get into next, because this next one is going to be a doozy. I'm going to do some research on this. So roughly, just a little taste from what I remember.
Yeah.
Because I looked into it and I kind of believed it a little bit. So the whole idea of the religion, how they get the base off of it. This is the next topic.
You're giving a preview. Okay.
A little preview. I'm giving a little snippet. All right. And a whole bunch of stuff on it we can go into at a later date. For whoever watched, we appreciate it. We're going to be re-uploading these on YouTube. We want to keep it on YouTube so we can get in a little spicier context. Continue to Church of Christ. He preaches there every Sunday, and you do Wednesday as well, Bible studies as well. You can find us at Church of Christ, Brownsburg, Indiana. If you believe in the Church of Satan and you want to speak to us, we have the door open for you, brother. And guess what? You're not going to be shoved out the door. We're going to want to talk to you, not with hate or discontent, with just how we were taught as Christians, how Christ led his life.
Yeah. Not
what you guys assume. Don't let those people protesting, like how you don't want to be judged about what your views of the Satanistic Church. If you give us the same respect, we'll allow you to have the same. Yeah, that being said, thank you for everybody to join and watch. I know it's kind of long. We want to keep it at least between 45 to 55 minutes. And hopefully we can keep this schedule going. And thank y'all and have a nice night. Could you hit that red button, please?